I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, H&H 4-H Club. This is a first call for the Breeding Gilt Show. We'll start off with the Duroc class. First call. Welcome again to the 2023 4-H FFA Swine Show at the Gage County Fair. Our judge this morning hails from Columbus, Nebraska. His name is Lane Ager, also a Kansas State graduate. Please put your hands together for Lane Ager, our show judge for the day. Second call, Class 1, Duroc Breeding Gilt.
Well, now that we got the fun part of the morning over there with the storm coming through, we're going to go ahead and start with this young man's gilt right here. I think that's the one that, when you look at her from the side, she puts together freshness with the bulk and the shape that I'm looking for. And yet her lower line reads real smooth, real feminine about her. Underline there as well. Is she necessarily the longest hip? No, but I don't necessarily think the 1 and 2 and 3 necessarily fix that. That's the one I feel the most comfortable landing on. The big gilt here is going to go ahead and be second. The biggest thing that I get back off on her is she needs to be fresher, and she certainly reads that it's her time to get in the crate. But with that said, that's one that's really robust, really opened up, coming at you, and there's certainly some maternal value there in that one's center body. Now take nothing away from the young man here in third. That's one that's really sharp about its shape up high, offers a neat lower jawline there, but with that, I need to see that one's spine set into her neater, and probably the biggest thing on that one, we need to lengthen that one's hip and relax that one's rear pastern. Young man does a nice job there getting them stuck. Let's give those kids a nice round of applause.
Last call, spotted breeding gilts. Last call, spotted breeding gilts. Our champion Duroc breeding gilt today is Trevor Party. A reserve champion is Sage Holtmeyer. First call, all crossbred breeding gilts. Second and last call, spotted breeding gilts, all other breeds. Last call for all other breeds.
Well, as we jump into the spots here, we're going to go ahead and start with the bigger gilt here. And I'll be honest, these two kind of fit the same mold for me. And where they need changed is honestly very similar, same spots. But with that, the bigger gilt's just the one that's ready for me today. She's better about her lower line and her fill. And with that, the young man does a really good job getting her stuck. And I think that helps her lower jaw comparatively to a young man there that's in second. I just feel more comfortable with the length of cannon in that one compared to the smaller gilt in second as well. Young man, you don't do a bad job by any means yourself there. Honestly, your gilt has some really neat things about her shoulder back, but with that one reads too forward in her blade for me, and I just need to see her relaxed about her knee, see her need to be nearer at the crest of her neck for where her maturity pattern reads. But with that, young man, that's one that's really nice, their shoulder back. Honestly, probably fresher than our class winner, one that still has a nice flex and squareness to his hock, maybe needs a little bit more flex about his pastern, but young man, you did a nice job there. Let's congratulate our spot exhibitors.
Last call, all other breeds. Our champion spotted breeding gilt goes to Carter Holtmeyer from Plymouth. Our reserve champion spotted breeding gilt is Wyatt Moat of Pickerel. A reminder, all first and second place breeding gilts will be coming back for the selection of the overall champion breeding gilt. This is your second and third call for crossbred breeding gilts. Crossbred breeding gilts, last call.
Well, we bring the pole and gilt out here to represent the OPB division, and I guess with her, guys, that's just a really practical built one in my opinion. Is there necessarily anything out there about her? No, but I think when you just talk structure and fundamentals on her, I think she fits the mold good there about her center cage. Now, would I necessarily like to see her fresher about her Hamel injunction? Sure. Does she maybe need a shot more lower fill for me? I could see that as well, but with that said, young lady, I think you need to be commended for the practicality you have in that gilt. Let's congratulate our pole and exhibitor.
Our champion AOB goes to Avery of Burr. Last call, crossbred, breeding gilts. Following the selection of the crossbred breeding gilt champion, we'll have a selection of the overall breeding gilt. This is a first call for market swine. First call, market swine. Class 1 of market swine. Start getting your pigs prepared.
Well, we jump into the crosses here, and I guess there's two up top here that you probably could see that I was looking at, and are they necessarily the same? No, and I guess, you know, there's one that I really wanted to lean into for just an overall look and immaturity and freshness that she had to offer, but I needed to see her go better out of her front end, and then the other one's one that's real stout out here, and maybe would you like to lengthen her hip and just see her relax out of her rear ankle? Sure, but with that said, I'm going to go ahead and start with the stout one over here. That's the one I feel more comfortable in just for the extras that she has to offer in terms of skull, her freshness, the shape, and with that, she moves better out of her front end comparative to this gilt that's going to go ahead and be in second. The stouter one's just going to go ahead and win for me. Now the real pretty gilt for me, the real attractive one's the young man here with the bigger gilt here coming across. And if she just moved better out of her front end and just relaxed into her shoulder, I'd go ahead and use her in a heartbeat. But with that said, you know, if she's the frailer one compared to our class winner here, I just can't go ahead and use that because I think that class advantages in that one just overwhelm this one. And so that's where I talk these two right here, like this one a bunch. Young man, you do a good job getting her shown. I just need to see her move better out of her front end. Now 3 and 4 here hit a different mold and different type and kind than the two ahead of them. They read a little sharper about their shape and a little stouter probably through their skull and maybe almost read a little bit more terminal in their kind. We're going to go ahead and start with the bigger gilt here closer to me. That one still reads with some lower lines and softness, maturity there, and volume, I guess, when you get up on top of her. And with that, compared to the one that's going to be behind her, she just opens more, and she got some more cage, and when you get underneath her, I think she stays more comfortable than the young man on the fence over here. Young man, you do a good job getting that one stuck, and that one, you know, when you talk real neat kind of throat line and really neat top side of neck, I could buy in on that one, but from there back, that one just reads a little bit too hard for me. Has actually a pretty good size to its hind leg, but needs to just go and flex out of it a little bit better. Nice job to the crossbred exhibitors. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Congratulations to Miles Esau, your champion crossbred breeding guild. The reserve champion was Wyatt Moat. We'll now have the selection of the overall breeding guild champion. All first and second place class from crossbred and purebreds will be competing for the overall breeding guild champion. This is your second call for the Market Swine Show. We will begin with the Purebred Market Swine. Group 1, Purebred Market Swine. This is your second call.
Well, I won't take long on this, guys, and if you know anything about my history showing pigs, I showed a lot of breed hogs growing up, and I guess there's one out for me today that hit me pretty hard, and as the show progressed after it, it's the one that I feel even more confident the Durrock's going to go ahead and win the show today.
Congratulations, Trevor Party, your champion breeding guild. Well, I think it gets closer here. We start talking the reserve. I think you find a little bit more faults in ones out here. And so that makes things a little bit more difficult when you start having to size things up and scale them all up. I guess there's probably two out here that I'm looking at in contention, and it's the cross and the spot. I guess I talked them in class, and, you know, in the way that I'd like to probably lengthen the cannon and just give that one a shot, bigger ankle in terms of the spot. And we bring that cross back out here, and she won that division just because probably her just front end build isn't necessarily perfect, no, but she still moved freer than that one that was in reserve for me. I guess when they compare them back out here, though, I think you start looking in the hip length on that one and just length the hind step, and that one reads to me being a little bit shorter. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and use two purebreds today. The spot's going to go ahead and be reserved. Let's congratulate the Breeding Gilt exhibitors on a really nice show. Congratulations, Carter Holtmeyer, your reserve champion breeding guild. This is your last call for Purebred Market Swine, Group 1. Group 1, Purebred Market Swine. Again, our grand champion breeding guild for 2023 was Trevor Party. Reserve champion was Carter Holtmeyer.